Happy you could join us again. We are with Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group of Food and Wine Sommelier of the Year. The group includes Where We Are, the latest edition of the NRG, the Sovereign in Georgetown. And last time we were upstairs, this time we're downstairs. Not one, but two bars. Gotta like that. Group also includes, of course, the two Roosticos, one in Alexandria, one in Ballston. Greg, it is great to see you.
Good to see you.
What is on tap this week?
So this week, I was lucky to be visited by a gentleman named Roy Milner, who is the head of the brewing operations at Blackberry Farm. And that's where this comes to us from. He brought me this bottle, a kind of a preview bottle, but now this particular selection, the Noble Cuvée Dry Hop Saison, is available locally, so go out and find it. But this is a special bottle from him. So Blackberry Farm is an amazing, playland for foodies and gourmands in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee.
Yeah, and the location and the lodging isn't too bad
it's not
either,
bad.
right? I haven't been, but it's been on the radar.
It's on the radar, I know, yeah, for everyone, I think. So they have a little amazing brewery that specializes in farmhouse ales, and this is their brand new one. So let's take a taste of it. You see that awesome head, the foam here, kind of like rocky and dense. When we poured it, it had a lot of effervescence because these guys do as good a job as any brewery in the U.S. with bottle conditioning. And that wonderful champagne-like effervescence is really a big part of it.
Smells so good. It smells like the day outside. It's a gorgeous day outside.
Springtime.
Yes, this day that we're taping. Who would have thought? Out of Tennessee.
Awesome.
Such a good Belgian style. This is the second one of theirs we've done,
Yeah,
I think.
yep.
It's been a while.
Been some time.
That's dynamite.
They're coming. It's cool. They've increased their production a little bit, and we're going to start seeing draft of their saisons as well, which is fantastic. So it's a good time to kind of showcase them because you're going to be seeing them around a lot more. But they just do wonderful stuff. And I think when you smell this beer, so it's dry hopped, and of course dry hopping takes place after fermentation. So they're brewing the beer with some classic continental hops. They've got Styrian Aurora for bitterness on the palate. That gives you a little bit of that kind of just clean, herbal bitterness on the palate. But then after fermentation, they're adding East Kent Goldings, which is a British varietal, gives it a leafy, tea-like, lemony note. German Select and Tettnanger hops, both German, that give it that kind of floral perfume quality. And it works so well with the rustic Saison, fruit, spice, hay, aromatic, and I really think it's the effervescence on the palate, and also it lifts the aromas out of me. It's so potent in the nose.
I don't want to say in any way that it's typical, but to me that's just a classic Belgian taste.
Yeah, it is.
And that's a compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is. Typical for like the best. I mean, we are at the Sovereign right now, so it's like, it's cool. Like we feature these guys here, but you're right. It's typically like the top tier. You know, it's wonderful stuff. And yeah.
I believe Blackberry Farm is known for their cuisine, of course, too, their food. What would you pair this with? I
mean, you know, they say, we always talk about this every time, like, Saisons are like the beer, especially when well made like this, when dry, not too sweet, it goes with literally everything, right? So you could do it from, you know, just a great herb like roast chicken to, you know, sausage platter, to like hot dogs and hamburgers, grilled cheese, seafood of any kind. I mean, crab season's coming up here soon. We're just talking about it. Goes with it all, I think.
And I think we've talked about this before, and I'm sure you have. I don't know how often, but if you've talked to guys, you know, friends of yours or brewers you know from Belgium have come over here and gone to a place like Blackberry Farm and said, I mean, what's their reaction to I mean, really, it's homage to Belgium and their style of beer, and everyone's thinking about Belgium this week in particular. Right. What do the guys from over there think about what the Americans are doing with Belgian-style beer?
I think when it's great, they think it's amazing. I mean, they're so flattered and honored by the work that's being done, and like the attention to detail. Again, like keep talking about like the bottle conditioning here, the dryness of this beer. You know, brewers like Thirier from northern France and Blogy from southern Belgium, and even hop-forward brewers like De La Seine and Doranca, they love this stuff. They would love this stuff if they haven't had it, and they'd be really honored by it. So it's cool. And what I love, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think today sometimes the newer craft beer drinker is getting, you know, when 10 years ago when you jumped into craft, it wasn't like today. Now you jump into craft and there's so much going on. There's sours, saisons, IPAs, you name it. And it's, in some ways I'm nervous that we've detached it from its history. You know, people think that American craft is the biggest thing going, 4,000 breweries strong. This deliberately draws the connection to the roots of farmhouse brewing in Belgium, in southern Belgium, in Wallonia, and it kind of keeps the dialogue going, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel very glad I came along when I did in my discovery of beer and different beer than just yellow, fizzy domestic beer that we have, which is good on hot days at a golf tournament. But I got into the Belgians first, and then kind of did the discovery of the hops, and right when they were coming up. And, and I know I'm not the first, and that's been going on for a long time. But I
think now it's different. That's really interesting because before there weren't 4,000 breweries, and even when there were quite a few breweries, but they didn't all distribute. They weren't big enough to distribute all over the country. I mean, you know as well as I do. In this area, if you didn't want to drink the fizzy stuff in the old days, Belgian was what you drank. That was the craft. That was American craft, was imports at that point. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Whereas now I think like every kid coming up is getting hit in the head with hops first, and maybe has to find their way to the saison. It's really kind of fascinating.
Both so different, both great. You got to experience them both. Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you, bud.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another beer of the week.